TikTok compilation that might wake you up and change your reality. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Madeira, Portugal, everyone. So beautiful.
Wesley Snipes ain't do nothing wrong, kinda. See, Wesley had a problem. He suddenly just stopped paying taxes. But why did he do this? Well, he gets a phone call from his accountant. His accountant goes, Wesley. Wesley goes, my boy. His accountant goes, chillin'. Hey, why you paying taxes, Wesley? Wesley go, what you mean? Everybody pay taxes. Accountant go, nah, I got you. Now, Wesley agrees to this because you see, his accountant wasn't no ordinary accountant. By the way, this isn't his accountant, but I feel like I was close. Douglas, his accountant, was an accountant to a bunch of millionaires. He would always find ways to save them some money. So he's telling Wesley about these tax practices and this and that and this and that. The IRS hits up Wesley. They like, my boy, you stop paying taxes. Wesley like, no, don't worry, my accountant handle it. They said, okay, Wesley, that sounds legit. Do me a favor, can you come to this address? Wesley said, no, that's the address for prison. They said, yeah, come here. So the government charges Wesley for trying to defraud the United States. Now, here's where things start to get wicked. Wesley offers to pay them like $1 million. He owed them like $11 million. Now, this is what millionaires and billionaires do often. Like, oh, you caught me. Here's a little bit of money. Go away. The IRS, the government, refuses the money. His lawyers go, oh, they want you bad, Wes. So they take Wesley to court. Wesley go, hey, I was just following the advice of my accountant. The government go, we know. His accountant go, y'all better leave Wesley alone. The judge goes, is that Douglas? Douglas, where you at here? I'm right here in the audience. He goes, Douglas, come here real quick. Stand next to Wesley. Douglas goes, right here? Ain't this where the criminals stand though? The judge goes, yup. Wesley look at his accountant. His accountant go, they go, but hold on, we got a surprise guest. Eddie, I see you in the audience. Come here. There was a third person. See, it was Wesley, Douglas, his accountant, and there was a guy named Eddie Kahn that was helping them through the process of defrauding the government. Why I put defrauding in quotes is because there was a secret reason as to why all this was going on. See, what Wesley and his lawyers understood was this wasn't about Wesley. This was to set an example. And what better example of pay your taxes than famous movie star Wesley Snipes didn't pay his taxes, so he's in trouble now. This is why they didn't allow him to do what countless millionaires have done in the past, which was a payment plan. Now, we're not finished. His accountant helped hundreds of millionaires in the past avoid paying that much in taxes. They wanted him gone too. Third and foremost, the third guy, Eddie, they wanted him gone most of all because he was a huge tax protester, and that organization's built around protesting how the American government handled their taxes. It was a win-win-win, so they put them all in trial together. But see, the jury wasn't going for it. They're thinking what you're probably thinking right now, conspiracy to defraud the government. Wesley was just there. So they took off all the felony charges that Wesley was facing and just charged him with a misdemeanor. He didn't pay his taxes, whatever. The accountant and Eddie, they got charged for the big stuff. But see, if there's one thing you learn about the U.S. government is if they have a plan, they're going to try to stick to it. So for not filing his taxes, this judge from Florida gives Wesley Snipes the maximum sentence of 3 years in prison. Wesley immediately goes to the Supreme Court, but they denied to even hear his case. Why? Because there was no outrage. The story was very simple. Wesley Snipes, you're rich. You don't want to pay taxes. While I pay taxes? Good for you. Everyone laughed. And on top of this, Wesley Snipes was still required to pay the money. So the IRS was investigated by the United States Tax Court. Because in the IRS's words, Wesley got advice from his accountant and he was still willing to pay the money back in payment plans, but he was still rejected from it. The tax court said, the IRS is good.
Only
If your accountant tells you you don't need to pay taxes, it's time to get a new accountant. I like him in Blade 1 and 2.
I'm telling you, man, I know how close I came to losing it all. Just when you get emasculated like that, when I tell you the way he looked at me, the way he giggled, it was one of those things where he was like, hey man, you know, no one's ever gonna believe you.
Do you think it was a way of him maybe exercising power?
It was. First of all, this whole thing, from Weinstein to all what's happening in Hollywood, is about an abuse of power, an abuse of the position you have. And what happens is they have fooled everyone into thinking it was part of the job. I told my agent at the agency, I told my manager, Adam knew. Adam called me on the way home from the event to
That same
apologize.
night?
That same night, because it was that traumatic. You understand? When I left, he was like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I understand something really, really bad went down. And I'm going, this is crazy. I get a call from my agent saying that Bennett's gonna call you. I get a call, here it's him on the line. I'm sorry, I was drunk. I wasn't myself that night. And I said, hey man, you gotta understand the depth of what you did. In front of my wife, I said, man, you don't even know how close you got to really being hurt. And I said, you need some help. I said, you need to go get help. And he was like, yeah, okay. When I tweeted, I didn't mention the name. I didn't mention anybody. But what happened was I started getting calls from the agency. Hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? I said, no, it's not okay. I've been waiting a year and I haven't heard anything. What happened with him? Where is his accountability? I paid William Morris Endeavor 10% of everything I made for the last 15 years. I did not deserve to get.
Do you think this has hurt your career coming out?
I don't know. But this is what I have to say. I've learned a long time ago to always do the right thing, and the universe takes care of me. That's the deal. You might have $400 million in cash, but I'd rather have $400 million in influence. Honor is where you have to do it. You have to have honor.
Like that.
If I can't do it with honor, then what's the point? Because this is the deal. Weinstein's money ain't helping him now. Kevin Spacey's money's not helping him right now. That's the deal. It's all disappearing. If you have honor, that's something no one can take away from you.
Former NFL player turned actor Terry Crews shared his experience of assault in Hollywood. He revealed being by a powerful Hollywood agent at a party in 2016. Despite his tough image, Crews emphasized the seriousness of assault and the need for accountability. He reported the incident to his agency and manager immediately, but did not go public until later, citing the Weinstein scandal as a trigger. Crews highlighted the abuse of power in Hollywood and the importance of speaking out against it. He hopes his story will bring about change and encourage others to come forward. In light of the numerous revelations, including recent allegations involving P. Diddy, it's clear that this abuse of power extends far beyond Hollywood. Terry Crews' story is just one example of the pervasive nature of assault across industries. Let's keep this conversation going and collaborate to establish a safer, more respectful environment for all. Have you or someone you know been impacted in a similar situation? Your voice matters. Share your story and let's stand together in support. Together, we can drive meaningful change.
Government, Hollywood, and the music industry, they're all intertwined.
2018, a group of boys were exploring a cave in Thailand when suddenly the tunnels flooded with water and they became trapped. They were over 2 miles deep, and the flooding caused the tight tunnels to be completely filled with water. After 10 days, rescuers finally found them, but they had an extremely difficult time navigating the tunnels, and unfortunately, one even died during the operation. Because of this, they couldn't find a way to get the boys out safely. Their last option was to give them a sedative to knock them out, fit them with diving masks, and transport their unconscious bodies through the tunnels one by one. All 12 boys and their coach were safely rescued after 18 days underground.
They made a movie out of this. It's called Thai Cave Rescue on Netflix.
This is one of the smallest subways in the world, the Glasgow subway in Scotland. And for someone who's 6'3" like me, you really have to mind your head when you're getting on board the second generation stock. The trailer cars carry this wonderful geometric burgundy seat moquette, and rather convenient footstools which are good after a long day. Moving forward to the power car at the next station, this is where the ergonomic beauty is at its finest. Brushed steel handrails, brown leather-topped seats, and a seat moquette pattern that tones perfectly with the laminate flooring. Just look at that classic 1980s colour palette. Jumping off at Kelvin Bridge, it's time to bid farewell to these Metro Camel beauties, with the sound of their traction motors whirring and a fantastic electrical discharge to finish off. And from Kelvin Bridge Station, it's time for a walk in the park, where I found a squirrel nibbling on a biscuit.
This is exactly what I would imagine a Glasgow subway to look like.
People complaining about normal temperatures. I don't know if you saw, but in England, they're going to reach a high of 26 degrees Celsius, and it's going to stay that hot for 48 hours. 26 degrees Celsius is, Hank, guess.
96.
78. So I was like, this can't be real.
I was going to say 28, that seems low, but if they're complaining already, it's got to be...
Apparently, all of England doesn't have air conditioning. I didn't realize that. That's the big complaint, that they just don't have air conditioning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Which, go on Amazon and buy an air conditioning unit. 78 degrees is almost, that's like maybe 4 degrees hotter than my perfect weather.
Yeah, 78 degrees is wonderful degrees outside.
It's perfect degrees.
It is almost perfect. It does stink, though, if you get above like 75 inside your own apartment. That's bad.
Of course, just go outside where it's beautiful out.
It does feel, for some reason, 78 degrees outside feels awesome. 78 degrees inside feels like you're in hell.
Correct.
What's the difference?
But just, because there's probably a breeze.
Breeze, you get the breeze.
Yeah, breeze.
Yeah.
So just open your window.
No.
Yeah, you can open the window.
You can open your window.
Let the breeze in.
I also saw some people saying, well, all of our houses are old and we don't have AC.
Get a new house.
Yeah, I don't know. Move to America.
Yeah, how old are we talking about here?
I don't know, dude. You know what? Go into a pool.
They don't have pools in England.
Yeah, they probably don't.
They definitely don't.
The problem is that English houses are built to trap in heat. So while it's 78 outside, you're cooking inside. But let me know how you feel about this.
Can I ask you one thing? Yeah. I just wanted to know, 'cause I don't really know. What's your favourite food? Like a Jewish tradition food?
Oh, you ask very good question.
Yeah.
So the thing is like this. We have every 7th day, it's called Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Then we have a food, it's called chulent.
Chulent.
That's the best.
Okay.
But you have to know how to make it.
All right. What is it, like a meat? Like...
Combination of meat, potatoes, beans.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's very good.
All right. Today, I see everyone in families.
Yeah,
everyone with their
now
families.
We have a holiday. We have a special holiday.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Flowers. We see not for flowers. No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holiday of flowers.
Okay. All right then. That's what I want to know. Oh, just one more thing. Do you not know about oxtail and rice? White rice. Or rice and peas?
Sure.
You know what oxtail?
Ox?
Oxtail.
I know rice, I know peas. I'm not sure about oxtail.
No? No, it's a Jamaican dish. Yes. Oxtail, rice and peas.
It's really good.
Huh? A tail of an ox. See you later.
I love oxtail soup with potatoes, carrots, green onion, and garlic rice on the side, and just a little spicy sauce.
Seen those videos going around about the rubber bananas and avocados? Well, I think I may have got one. I'm in Texas, by the way. I did an HEB curbside order 2 weeks ago, and I asked for 2 ripe avocados that were ready to eat. I got home and unpacked my groceries, and they were rock hard. I figured, okay, these people just can't read, right? They're just not ripe. So I put them on my counter 2 weeks ago. This avocado should be moldy by now. What the F, HEB? It just took me literally 30 seconds to cut it apart. It is so hard. The other side of the shell came off. Have you ever seen that happen? Let me show you what it feels like. Well, not that you can feel it, but look at this. I'm pushing so hard. Like so hard that it's turning my finger white. And it's not even denting. Like, let me try to cut it with my fingernail. Look at that. What in the actual... What is going on here? This is a tag on it, avocado from Mexico. Do these numbers mean something? Like, I just don't understand. There's a close-up of it. What is happening here? Look at this. I can't break it apart. Like it doesn't move. Guys, what the hell is this? This is not food. This is 100% not food. Look at this. This is rubber, guys. This is This is not food. Bought this avocado 2 days ago from the same store. Let's try it. Okay, normal avocado, right? Look, squishy. Let me stick my finger in it. That's an avocado. What in the fark is this? I think I'm gonna put one half in the fridge and one half on the counter and do like a date stamp and see for like the next week or two what happens to it.
Good idea.
What do y'all think? Should I do that? At this point, question everything. So now I've got it sitting on the counter. We're gonna see how many days it takes for it to decompose, if it does at all, because I don't believe it to be food. Follow along for the avocado saga. Well, if that wasn't pure ADD right there, my God. Follow along for the avocado saga.
I posted a clip yesterday, a lady with a rubber watermelon. She couldn't even break a slice. It was crazy. But let me know how you feel about this.
Check this out. You got money in your backyard, don't even know what it is. You know what that is right there? That's called honeysuckle. And I've got a big bush right here that just keeps, I got bushes all over this this farm right here. And this right here, easiest money you can ever make. They say money don't grow on trees. That's a lie. It grows on trees, bushes, and vines if you know what to look for. So what you're gonna do, this is a honeysuckle right here. You're gonna pull the stem off, right? And let's see if you can see it on here. You're gonna pull the stem off. You see that little bit of honey? That's how you know it's ready. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick each one of these and be ready. Because when you pick the right one, the queen honeysuckle, the main vine, the main vein, once you find it, check it out. It's already gotten all over me right here. It comes, and I've done it filled up, you know, probably 3 gallons, 4 gallons right here. I sell this right here, guys. $50 for a jar of it. You sell 20 of them, that's $1,000 a day. So what I do is throughout the year, I produce 55-gallon drums full of it. Guys, you can go in your backyard and find this stuff. It's just honeysuckle. That's all it is, all natural. But this right here ain't gonna let you down. There's money all over the place. You gotta be looking for it. But this is what I do. And you guys can test a sample out of it on heavenlyhoneysuckle.com. Just check it out and get a free sample. Get you an LLC. The only money you got is in your LLC insurance and the jars. But everything else, nature produces it. The money's out there. But like I said, I've done filled this one up. I'm fixing to fill this up and call it a day. I've been out here for about an hour and a half. But anyways, just wanted to let you guys know, because a lot of people's not familiar with it. Go check your backyards, walk through the woods, even your neighbor's property. Ask them, hey, do you mind if I go looking for some honeysuckles? They'll let you do it. Give them a little cut, you know? People appreciate that kind of stuff. But guys, you got to use this right here. It's time to grind, get that beast
Yes,
mode.
sir.
You know what I mean? Go make that money. It's everywhere. But you guys, hey, be blessed, stay classy, be the change. Love you guys. Y'all take care. I'm going to get back to this honeysuckle. We'll see y'all.
If you don't know, now you know.
My classmates find out I'm secretly a doctor.
Before starting engineering.
I did medicine.
Ah? Wait, what? Sorry?
Rosie. He's
a licensed
doctor. I'm a doctor.
Then what are you doing here in engineering?
I decided to do it for fun.
You decided to do medicine for fun?
No, as in this.
Engineering for fun?
Yes.
So you're just doing side quests, guys.
I am working as a doctor.
Wait, how old are you? Anywhere from about 19 to about 28. I've witnessed this twice now. The exact, what did you do before this to how old are you?
You're a doctor wanting to do engineering for fun.
Well, I thought it would be a lot more fun. I'm being proven wrong right now.
Stop engineering right now.
I've definitely thought of it. It is a completely different field. Yeah, I haven't done math or physics. I love to learn, yes, but I haven't done math or physics
You have
in
very nice
8 years.
hair. I don't know why you're putting them to shame.
You just love the struggle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm literally
Putting
Sisyphus.
yourself at the risk of hair loss at this point.
Tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. But seriously though, how old are you?
Well, as of 2 days ago, if you are a man and you are between the ages of 18 to 26, you can automatically be drafted to the military. The Selective Service is the government agency that runs the military draft. And prior to 2 days ago, the Selective Service could only technically choose from men that signed up for the draft. But for some reason, 2 days ago, the House of Representatives passed a bill that allows the Selective Service to access government databases and be able to draft any man between the ages of 18 and 26. So there's a couple things I want to say about this. Number one, why would they do that? Are we about to go to war? Like, what's happening? Why would they need to do that right now? And secondly, on a more personal note, if I get that call that I'm getting drafted to the military, I'm not going. I mean, what would I be fighting for? A bunch of old men that run the governments of the world that can't get along, so they send 18 to 26-year-olds to go fight for them? Not to mention, I feel like us as Americans hardly have anything left to fight for. I mean, we got a guy in office that wears diapers. We're paying 99% tax rates. It's ridiculous. I'm not going.
I checked that it was already technically against the law to not sign up for the draft.
Foods to cut to reduce belly fat. 1. Beer is one of the foods with the highest glycemic index in the world, containing empty calories and stimulating cortisol production. 2. Quick-cooked rice.
Oof.
This includes processed foods such as glutinous rice, popcorn, and especially rice cakes, which are quickly digested by the body after processing, causing blood sugar levels to rise. 3. Sugary soft drinks. These drinks contain a lot of sugar and empty calories, which are not good for the body and only lead to diabetes and fat accumulation. 4. Instant potato chip. This is a super processed food that contains a lot of refined carbohydrates, but few nutrients, and instead of choosing this food, opt for whole, unprocessed potatoes. 5. White bread. These breads are made with refined white flour, contain small amounts of fiber and nutrients, have a high glycemic index, which quickly raises blood sugar levels, and contain empty calories that stimulate cortisol production.
I'm on number 2, the white rice. I've been eating it since I was a baby.
Immigration rules are changing today. It's going to affect more than 1 million people. This is official. President Biden at 12 noon is going to sign into law new regulations that are going to do the following. If you are here in the United States for more than 10 years as of June 17th, 2024, and you are married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024, and you entered without inspection and are ineligible to adjust your status, you will be given parole in place for 3 years. That is legal status. You will have 3 years from the time you get your parole in place to file your adjustment of status based on your marriage to your U.S. citizen so you can get your green card. If you are the child under the age of 21 years old and are a stepchild of that U.S. citizen, and you yourself as that child entered without inspection, you too will be eligible for parole in place, and then ultimately get your green card. For DACA recipients and others who graduated from a university in the United States, a bachelor's degree or higher, and are either in DACA status or out of status, if you have an employer who is willing to sponsor you, you will be eligible to obtain waivers and an easy process to get work visas to start to legally work in the United States and ultimately have that employer sponsor you for your green card through labor certification. More specifics to come shortly.
One of my family members won a green card lottery 4 years ago. His wife, and their 2 kids are doing well now. They live in New Hampshire. Both the wife and husband work at the visa center from home and earn $30 per hour.
Drinking warm water with rice in the morning burns 14 pounds a week. If you are struggling to lose weight and you're over 25, then you need to hear this. People are burning 2.2 pounds of fat each.
Oh, what the hell? Did you hear that? 14 pounds in 1 week and 2.2 pounds each day? They ain't put me in. Chorro King back with his next chorro review. Woo! And here's what you're gonna need. Some rice, some water, and a lime. Put 2 scoops of rice. Puro cochinero. Limit. Just like that. Now add in your water and let it rest for 2 minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, now that your horchata water has been sitting there for 5 minutes, I'm going to strain it into my cup. Just like that. Now I'm going to add half a lime to all the starches that you guys wash off of the rice so we can drink it and lose weight. Yeah. And there we have it, the matapanza water. Dang, let's get it. You're supposed to drink this first thing in the morning before you eat anything. And guys, today is my second day drinking this thing. And yesterday I was on live and I told you guys that I weighed 238. And this morning I'm at 236. What the hell? Is this thing actually working? Or what? So I did lose 2 pounds. I don't know if it was 2.2, but I did lose 2 pounds. What? So have we left Ozempic and started the Rice Zempic? Damn, I don't know, but let's drink it. Cheers. 1 to 3 for the skinny life.
There you go.
All right, but that's it. Day 2 completed. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Choroking up. Bye. Have a beautiful day.
Is this better than apple cider vinegar? I've been doing apple vinegar with hot water in the morning.
This is insane. Anyone from age 18 through 26 is now being forced to go to the military.
As of today, you don't need to worry about registering for the military draft. No. The government is going to do that for you automatically. Today, the House passed a law that allows the Selective Service, which is the government agency that runs the military draft for 18 to 26-year-olds, and draft you if needed.
Now, obviously, the bill has already been accepted, but it is still being processed and should be taking place in 2025, in which a lot of people are obviously furious because no one wants to do something they don't want to do. And on top of that, you are putting your life at risk.
You know, Anna, politicians on both sides agree that this is a really big crisis here in terms of military recruitment numbers, but it seems pretty far-fetched from anyone we've spoken to that a president could enact some sort of mandatory military service to try and fix that problem. I mean, we haven't had a draft since 1973, and enlisting in the...
Why no one realizes World War III already started? Hannibal remains the strongest leader who was able to defeat and occupy Rome.
Telling me you found an ancient hominid civilization living in Antarctica?
Brother, have I ever lied to you? It all happened after I began developing a hyperthermalized polar expedition vehicle that would be able to drive into parts of Antarctica that were previously never explored. And so in 2015, we decided to test it out. And as we drove hundreds of miles in, we were brought to a halt by an absolutely massive wall made of ice.
The ice wall is real.
Brother, it's not nearly as interesting as what's behind it. We'd driven up to what looked like a door etched out in the ice, and we were greeted by a strange creature. We were speechless and utterly shocked, but it seemed harmless, as if it had never seen people before. It waved us inside, and so we drove through into what was an absolutely magnificent city, sculpted out of ice, inhabited by these strange pale white humanoid-like creatures. I mean, it was incredible. Like these people, this very strange derivative hominid species is just living in the depths of Antarctica, kind of entirely unaware of the rest of the world's existence, as they are biologically bound to this place that we physically can't go to. And as we slowed down, they began strangely surrounding the vehicle in a very disturbing manner. We grew very concerned as these flying creatures started swarming above us in unison with them, and out of fear, I floored it in reverse, and we fled the region. And although I really wish we'd went back the next day.
AI people, it's Cap. What? No way. That's crazy. No. Yeah. I'm speechless.
Thanks for calling up. How can I help you?
Hi, I was calling to see if the hiring manager was there.
Sorry for your hold. This is Beth.
Hey, this is Tatiana calling. I put the application in.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
When could I come in for an interview?
It will probably be after Thursday. I have an inventory. I have an inventory on Thursday, so I'm getting everything prepared for that. 5:30 today. We'll set the interview up for 5:30.
All right, I'll be there.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Okay, see you later.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
That's how you get the job. You don't ask, are y'all hiring? You tell them that you put the application in, and when can you come in for an interview?
Then you show up and they say, "What interview?" Just kidding. I think her tactic is great.
5 days without a single bite of food. Today is day 10. Weighed in at 183 pounds. That is down 21 pounds in the first 9 days. Give you guys a breakdown on how my fast works with my body. First 3 days, just torture. You're pooping out all the food that's in your body, and you're just craving food. All the food that you're addicted to, whether it's caffeine, sugar, carbs, whatever your body's used to taking in and loves the most, you're just craving it so bad, and it's eating away at your brain, and it's even giving you headaches because you're going through withdrawal for sugar and cookies and bread and cheese. When I get to day 4, that's usually when the cravings and the hunger stop completely. By then, I've reached ketosis, which is when your body starts burning all your fat for energy. And since it doesn't have to wait for you to eat food, it's just burning the fat nonstop. So you pretty much sleep very little and have tons of energy. By then, your mouth has stopped producing saliva because it knows that you're not eating. So your mouth is really dry and really stinky. I'm drinking twice as much water as I was before. So I used to drink a gallon. I drink about 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons. I know that's a lot, but that's just my body personally. I'm not saying you have to drink that much water. I take Celtic salt and I put it under my tongue. Sometimes I just put it in my mouth and crunch on it a little bit. That's giving me electrolytes, and that's keeping me going. I also take a magnesium pill every day. I've been stretching every morning for about 15 minutes, and then I walk for at least an hour every day on top of my work life. I own and operate a doggy daycare and kennel. I'm the only person here. So I'm walking the dogs, playing with the dogs, feeding the dogs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But it's a beautiful thing. I'm getting paid to play with dogs. Couldn't ask for anything more, right? Now, why am I doing this fast? Is it for weight loss? No. Weight loss is a side effect of it. I'm doing it for autophagy. Autophagy is a process where your body breaks down your weak and damaged tissue and breaks down any weak and damaged cells that you have that might turn into cancer or disease. And then when you start gaining the weight back, whether it be muscle or fat, you're building fresh tissue, fresh cells. It's a way to revitalize your body every single year and prevent lots of things. Autophagy is also known to produce human growth hormones, which helps your skin clear up, helps scars heal, helps build muscle. Believe it or not, you can build muscle during a fast. We all think of fat as this horrible thing that's on our body, but it's really a very complex thing that holds on to a lot of things that we need. When our body's building fat, any spaces or spots in it that are empty is filled up with protein. There's also glucose in our fat to feed our brain so that when our sugar level kind of goes down, it can even out. But keep in mind, none of that's going to be happening until you reach ketosis. So this first few days, you're going to be going through a lot of sugar withdrawal. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I have been fasting for over 20 years. So anytime something would happen to my body during a fast, I would do mad research on it. So all I'm really trying to do is share with you guys what I've learned from a lot of the studies, from a lot of the doctors, and from a lot of the experts on fasting. So quick little rundown. That's all I got for you right now. I'll talk to you guys before bed. Bye.
I too take magnesium. Magnesium mist is actually more effective than pills. Magnesium is best absorbed and utilized through the skin.
Massive gold pillar over 300 feet long has been discovered in Saudi Arabia. It's 24-karat gold, and it's the largest quantity of gold ever found in the world. Before I explain, don't hesitate to subscribe. As you know, there's an architectural project underway in Saudi Arabia called The Line. It's a sort of city that will extend over more than 2 miles, and they are currently laying the foundations to begin the work on this project. And it turns out they stumbled upon, as you can see, a kind of gold pillar. The strangest part is that there are Chinese inscriptions on it. So this totally questions certain historical beliefs we might have about Saudi Arabia or the Chinese Empire. It's assumed that it was crafted several hundred years ago, but some specialists believe the crafting of this pillar happened more than 10,000 years ago. Even today we wouldn't be able to do it, partly because of gold reserves, but also regarding the smelting and molding of this pillar. Subscribe and tell me in the comments what you think.
My next door neighbor works on the line. I'll ask him Thursday when I see him, but I doubt it.
One day, this woman's chilling at home, and she hears a knock at the door. So she walks over to answer it, and she opens it up. And there, on her porch, is a circus clown, wearing like the full outfit, and the clown is carrying balloons and flowers, and then the clown hands the woman the balloons and flowers. And then they pull out a pew-pew, and they point it at the woman's face, and they pull the trigger. So, why was this woman just unalived by a clown? Well, the story doesn't actually start there. The story starts with this other woman, Sheila. And Sheila's 27, she works at a used car dealership, and she's the one who repossesses the cars. Because she's apparently a tough lady, and she's good at her job. In fact, she's so good at her job, at some point she catches the eye of the owner. This guy, Mike. And Mike and Sheila, they hit it off, and they start flirting at work, and eventually they start smashing. Like, a lot. And Mike and Sheila, they are crazy about each other. Mike even starts paying rent on Sheila's apartment for her. That's how much he likes her. And these two want nothing more than to keep this relationship going so that they can live happily ever after. Except, there's one thing standing in their way. Mike is actually married. And of course, he doesn't want to just get a divorce like a normal human being, because apparently half his assets are in his wife's name, which means if they split up, she's gonna get a big check. So he doesn't want to get a divorce. So then Sheila comes up with a plan to get rid of Mike's wife for good. One night, Sheila goes to a costume store, and there she buys a clown costume. Orange wig, makeup, red nose, the whole thing. 2 days later, Mike's wife, her name's Marlene, Marlene is chilling at home with her adult son. And suddenly, they hear a knock at the door. So Marlene walks over to answer it, and sure enough, there's a whole-ass circus clown standing on her porch. Like in the full outfit, and the clown is carrying balloons and flowers. But then, the clown hands the balloons and flowers to Marlene. And then they pull out a pew-pew, and they point it at Marlene's face, and they pull the trigger. Then the clown calmly walks back to their car and they drive away. So immediately Marlene's son calls 911 and paramedics come and they rush her to the hospital. And there doctors put her on life support. But unfortunately, it's not enough. 2 days later, they take Marlene off the life support and she passes away. And pretty quickly, police start to investigate this. They're looking at possible suspects and who could be involved, and all they know is that the suspect is a 6-foot clown. So they're thinking maybe the murdering clown is Marlene's husband, Mike. But as it turns out, Mike has a solid alibi. He was with a bunch of friends on their way to the racetrack. But as police are asking around about this, they learn that Mike had been having an affair with Sheila from work. So police change tactics, and they start looking around for costume shops in the area. And they end up finding one that had recently sold a clown costume. So they interview the employee who was working that day, and the employee describes the customer as a woman who just happens to fit the description of Sheila. Then they find the clown's getaway car, abandoned in a parking lot. And in that car, they find orange hair fibers from a clown wig, as well as some brown human hair. So they get a search warrant, and they go search Sheila's apartment. And there, guess what they find? Orange hairs from a clown wig and brown human hairs. But unfortunately, the hairs alone aren't enough to make a connection. So they can't arrest Sheila, and they can't charge her with anything involving the murder. Here's what's crazy, though. During this investigation, police look into Mike because, of course, he's the husband. And while they don't find any evidence that he's involved in Marlene's death, they do find evidence that he's been committing serious fraud at his used car dealership, rolling back odometers, manipulating the titles of vehicles, stuff like that. So Mike is arrested for this, and he's convicted and he goes to prison. While Sheila, the person who actually committed the murder, doesn't. She's free. 3 years later, Mike gets out. He served his time. And he and Sheila, they end up getting married. And they finally live happily ever after like they always wanted. Until 15 years go by, and Marlene's death is still unresolved. But one day, the local sheriff's office gets some grant money to open unsolved cases from the past. So they open some cases, and one of those cases is this clown murder case. So they form a task force, and they re-interview witnesses, and they look at all the old evidence. And most importantly, they submit those brown human hairs that they found in the clown's getaway car for DNA testing. Which DNA testing wasn't as widely available decades before when this case first started, but it is available now, so they submit it. And of of course, boom, they get a match. It's Sheila. So finally, 27 years
Wow.
after Marlene's murder, they arrest Sheila. Here's her mugshot.
Ooh.
And she goes to trial, she ends up taking a plea deal, and she's sentenced to 12 years in prison. Now, one more thing. There is speculation that Sheila didn't act alone in all this, that Mike was also involved in the planning of his wife's unaliving, but in their investigation, police were not able to find any hard evidence of that. So he was never charged nor convicted. Shout out to Florida.
His stories are so addicting.
What is happening here? This is the most random and confusing standoff I've ever seen in my life. At first glance, you may see just 4 animals looking at each other. I'm gonna eliminate the vultures because vultures are scavengers. They eat the dead stuff. They actually alert animals, you know, when there is like a dead carcass that you could feed on. But I'm just gonna get them out the way. We got lions. We got a hyena. The confusing part is in the back, just chilling, just waiting for something. It's a full giraffe. He's in the back. He's not even being preyed on. He's just like, when y'all done, I'm getting in on this. Getting in on what? First of all, I don't even see what the vultures are eating. Okay? Who is waiting for who to die? You know? The hyenas are looking at the vultures and the lion. The lion is looking at everybody. They're just out there like the Spider-Man meme. Like, it's almost like they're actors and the National Geographic cameras caught them and they're just like, I don't know who's supposed to attack who, you know? I thought the lion was supposed to eat all of these things. King of the jungle. I've never seen a lion attack a vulture. Sure, why not? I've seen them bring down giraffes. Why not? The giraffes it looks like they're all about to kill the lion. Please give your guesses in the comments, because I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what happened before the cameras were turned on. But somebody's waiting for something. And for some reason, the giraffe is still there. The giraffe is in the back like, I'm about to beat these lions. Like, it's almost like the giraffe is the predator in this scenario. The giraffe is like 1 versus 2 lions. I like these odds. First, I'm going to snap the hyena's neck. Then I'm going to stomp on the vultures. Then I'm going to Jason Bourne these lions. And then I'm about to bring all of this great meat, paws, back to my giraffe camp. And we about to eat a hyena, vulture, lion stew. I have no idea what's about to happen, what did happen. I don't get it. Please give your best comments. Like, I just need to sleep tonight. So just give me what you think happened or is about to happen.
They're waiting for Northwest to show up for rehearsal. And who is filming this?
Something about outside isn't the same anymore.
You guys, something very strange and sinister is going on. I can't put my finger on it. We are 6 months into the year. I mean, how is that even possible? The days is going by too fast. The months is going by too fast. The weeks is going by too fast. It's like the moment I go to sleep, I'm right back up again, going to work. And I just want to know who else feels this way, because this feeling is so weird. And then it's like outside doesn't feel real. The moment you step outside, you get this weird feeling, like this weird ass vibe. Outside does not feel real. It's like everything around us is fake. Everything is poison. The food, the water. I'm starting to feel like time did a reset. And I bet you it has something to do with certain... And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I just paid rent. I gotta pay rent again? Y'all, I feel like rent is due every 2 weeks now. I'm starting to feel like it's only 5 days in a month. Listen, whatever it is that's going on, something ain't right. Y'all better save this video because something is not right. We are not living in our correct time zone.
I'm from Indonesia, and I feel the time is running so fast.
Have you ever wondered why ancient Sumerian gods are often depicted wearing what looks like watches? They seem to appear in countless carvings and sculptures, dating back to 4500 BCE. So, what could these possibly be? The watches are often seen on the wrists of gods like Anu and Enki, and they were not timekeeping devices. They were a form of advanced technology, used for communication and even energy manipulation. Imagine a device so powerful it could control the elements and even alter reality itself. But it gets even stranger. They are also depicted with handbags. These items are not only seen in Sumerian art, but also in art from ancient Egypt, Central America, and Turkey. Some theories suggest these bags are portable repositories of knowledge and that they contained tools or devices used for creating and maintaining the cosmos. These depictions are often connected with the Anunnaki, and they prove that human society was far more advanced in the past than it is in the present day. Our ancestors carved and drew what they saw. It was not a figment of their imagination. They carved animals, plants, and structures that all exist. Yet people seem to think they imagined these watches or handbags. What do you think? Were our ancestors more advanced than we give them credit for?
Belle Delphine, I believe is her name. Back in 2020, she sold 10 million pounds worth of her bath water.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
The Whore of Babylon has a cup full of liquid, by the way, in gold, a gold cup full of liquid that she offers the world.
Really?
Absolutely. 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 Look at how wonderful this is. It's actually, what does it say in the book of Revelations? It's filled with the filth of her abominations. God, perfect.
So, the way he pretended to not know how to say her name, nice try, buddy. Maybe Russia is in fact the Tartarian Empire. That's why it's so hated upon by the West. The last great frontier. But let me know how you feel about this.
I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe it's simply me, but it's getting ready to happen for you. For eyes have not seen nor ears have heard of the things that God has in store for you. It's getting ready to pop off for you. All you're going to begin to hear is access has been granted. That door has been opened. I know you've been wondering, would that door ever be open? It wasn't your time. It wasn't your season. I'm here to let you know that you have just stepped and entered to your season. So it is not time for you to give up. It is not time for you to question your walk. The very thing that God has called you and ordained for you to be, because you are in your season. You are in your access has been granted season. You are in your open door season.
Amen.
You are in your wow season. All you're going to be able to say is, wow, God did it. I can't believe it. Oh my God. That's all that's going to begin to happen. That's all that you're going to begin to say, because you are in your suddenly season. You are in your suddenly season. You are in your suddenly season. You have suffered long enough. You have cried long enough, and you are finally entering that season where it's literally going to be smooth, where your access is literally going to be granted and granted and granted. You are going to get approved for that house. You are going to get approved for that car. You are going to go ahead and walk into your purpose, your calling. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be easy because you have suffered long enough. But the Bible says in Romans 8:28, for all things God work together for the good of those who love Him, who has been called according according to his plan and his purpose. So every single thing that you have been through, that you are still going through, is going to work for your purpose and is going to work for your good. So I need you to go ahead and say it with me, that my access has been granted, that I waited long enough, that I suffered long enough, but it is time that I walk in my overflow. It is time that I step into my overflow. This is your season. This is your time. And I need you to share this video with somebody you know that's been suffering, with somebody you know that's been waiting on God, with somebody you cannot wait for God to bless him. Don't be a hater. Share it with that person, because I know right now as you are watching and listening to this video, you could think of one person. You could think of two people that you know been waiting on God, that you know that their faith did not let up, just like I know that your faith is not going to let up, because you have just stepped into your season. You have just stepped into your overflow. Oh my God, eyes have not seen what God's getting ready to do for you. So do not give up. Don't you dare give up, because it is your season and it is your time.
Woo! She's on fire. I'm so grateful for everything I've been through and grateful for the blessings that are coming for me. Access is granted in Jesus' name.
When you go into a cashless society, that means everything is credit and debit. There can be errors, there can be glitches. One day you're rich, the next day you wake up and you're broke digitally. As soon as you don't need cash, that means everything you buy, everywhere you go, everything you do is known. Now, for a guy like me, which is near angelic, I'm not buying anything I shouldn't be buying. I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing. But that's not where it ends. See, where it ends is they decide that you shouldn't be going to, let's say, Hawaii. Next thing you know, you can't buy tickets to Hawaii. There's no way you can get there using your digital currency. They say you've had enough meat, you've used enough gas, you have too many cars, you shouldn't be using that much gas, you shouldn't be leaving that kind of carbon footprint. So literally your card will stop working at the gas station mid-month because they've decided. So again, I think a cashless society is something to be feared. Cashless society is something that you do not want under any circumstances. As soon as they get rid of cash, man, it's over, guys. It's over.
He ain't lying. It really amazes me how many people disbelieve in our government.
So in typical fashion, I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across this post. Y'all, go Google famous crackheads and come back here. So curiosity got the best of me, so I'm like, okay, who are famous crackheads? I need to know. So I went to Google and typed in famous crackheads, and right here, complex.com, you can see I already clicked on the link. The 10 most accomplished crackheads. And let me tell y'all before I show y'all, there were a couple names on here. I wasn't surprised. You know what I'm saying? But there was one person in particular at the number one spot that I would have never known was a famous crackhead, okay? Number 10 is Coolio. I mean,
yeah,
I can see
it.
Let's be honest, I can see it. Number 8 was Flavor Flav. And look, after watching that fucking Flavor of Love TV show he had years ago, man, like, hey, you could just look at Buddy and be like, yeah, you definitely done a couple lines before in your life. Number 7 was Richard Pryor, who was a famous stand-up comedian. Doesn't really surprise me. I could see it. This one did come to me as a little bit of a shocker. Number 5 was Samuel L. Jackson. I would have never guessed. Like, I don't really pay attention to celebrities like that, but number 5, I mean, it's pretty high. Like, it had to be something serious.
I can see
Number
it.
4 was Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man. But, thanks to mainstream media, most of us already knew about, prior drug addictions and shit like that. So, not really a surprise. But the number 1 spot, fucking Oprah.
No.
Oprah Winfrey.
Really?
Is the most famous crackhead. Bro, I would have never guessed.
No.
You telling me, y'all ain't got no excuse. If Oprah can go from a crackhead to a billionaire, y'all ain't got no excuse.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I might have to try a little bit. It might be some juju in that motherfucker. Because all these people, hey, I'm trying to have Oprah.
Richard Pryor talked about it in his stand-up.
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new between the news and the stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my daughter. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. And then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Everything's expensive. I own a painting company. I still make it. Trying, man. I can't look at my daughter and my wife and know I'm failing. I'm fucking Everybody wake up. It's time to stand up.
Yep.
It's time to be tired of this. It's our turn to eat. I want to eat. I want my family to eat. I want you guys to eat. Stand up. Let's go. Stand up, man. Let's eat. I'm tired. Let's help each other. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what color you are. If you are not eating and you're struggling, eat with me. Let's struggle together then. Let's be a team.
This video should be played for Congress just before each session. They need much reminding. Thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to resonate with all of us. I feel this deeply.
Oh my God. Can you imagine apartment buildings built like Lego blocks? It even won the Building of the Year award at the 2015 World Architecture Festival. This intertwined building is called the Interlace and is located in Singapore. It was designed by the famous German architect Ole Sheeran. The total construction area is 1.8 million square feet. It consists of 31 apartment buildings, each of which is 6 stories high. It has 1,040 apartments and open outdoor environment and landscape base. This design maximizes the size of the site and creates a rich roof garden. If the green area created on the roof terraces of each floor is added up, the green area will reach 112%. In other words, it looks like a village vertically in the air. The designer's original intention was to create a vertical village to give the suburbs a city feel and the city a natural and beautiful scenery. Do you like this peculiar house? Welcome to leave a message in the comment area to discuss.
Architects can design anything but leave the burden supporting their adventures to structural engineers.
What the hell's going on now?
In San Francisco.
Are you serious? What are we doing here, people? Well, I don't know what you think about this.
That's extremely important.
Will you please comment?
So again, you have your right to speak up, but you don't have the right
share,
to inconvenience or cause danger to others.
And follow.
You know, we are getting some spectacular.
Appreciate it, but this is going on.
Marin County shoreline there as we look at the 1.7
in cities across the U.S. It's a Golden Gate Bridge. It's completely shut down on one side.
Sitting there going southbound from Marin County into San Francisco. And Nicole, it looks like what happened here is that you had 3 cars who were coming in the southbound lanes, which are the oceanside lanes, and they slowed down mid-span. People got out of the car. I guess they probably unfurled a banner, and then some of them used what Paul Morrow referred to as sleeping dragons to chain themselves either to the vehicle itself or to someone inside the
Oh
vehicle.
my God.
And that's what's
They
causing
chained
this huge
themselves.
delay here, because they got all the other.
Believe it or not, I got some crazy details I want to share with you guys. So we heard everything that we thought we knew of when it comes to Danny Masterson and him going to prison and him getting assaulted and him getting transferred and favored by California Department of Corrections, how they protect him and cater to him because of his celebrity status. Well, two things you need to know. His birthday just recently passed, right? And there's the kitchen that cooks for the inmates. Inmate food, regular food, what you would get daily. They have that kind of food. But the kitchen staff actually do cook food, like prep it better, way better, like homemade food for correctional officers if correctional officers are hungry. Well, on his birthday, he got a gourmet meal, plushed out gourmet meal, you name it. I forgot what it was, but it was something that we used to all fantasize about when we were sitting in that cell. And he even, for his birthday, got peach cobbler, his own peach cobbler pie made for him. That's crazy, right? How they would cater to that man. And now reports are coming out by correctional officers to the news media, to different outlets, talking about how he's well protected in the penal system now. His celebrity star status and his access to a certain amount of money got him protected to the point that he actually has his own squad now.
What?
Yes, I said it, a squad. Basically, he's paying a bunch of inmates to surround him and protect him from ever getting assaulted again. I don't know who these inmates are. I don't know exactly if there's any SNY gang members on there that are trying to target him any longer, but he's actually paying off a lot of inmates to protect his life. The same way Suge Knight did it when he went to jail. The same way the rapper X-Rated did it, because I was on the yard and I was in the penal system around the time that he was there. But like in this particular case, I guess money trumps morality. And even when it comes to the COs, there's a lot of facilities that I've been on where COs know that you got these kind of charges, they're going to set you up. And they're going to tell somebody like me or somebody else that was affiliated on the SNY yard to do something about it. But then there's another COs, man, that'll take that extra couple $100, extra couple $1,000 and give you a free meal or a free phone or what cell you want to live in or who you want to live with or what building you want to be transferred to. I get it, money talks in the penal system. But what I disagree with is that somebody of this nature and with that caliber of charges, so to speak, when it comes against crimes against women and children, I don't think money should trump morality.
Yep.
I think people should understand that what they have coming is what they have coming, plain and simple.
It's that Scientology money that's protecting him.
So what was the final straw when you decided to never eat McDonald's ever again? I was talking with my coworker yesterday and I informed her of the reason why I stopped eating McDonald's. And yesterday she told me that she can't go there anymore. She was like, I used to go there every morning for a coffee and a breakfast every other morning, and she can't eat there anymore. What I'm about to tell you is the exact minute that I stopped eating McDonald's. When I heard that Jeffrey Dahmer craved Big Macs in jail, no. I already remember the rabbi talking about how they grind up the, you know what I'm saying, into the hamburgers and the sausages. So I heard that. But that was going around for a long time. But it wasn't until I heard Jeffrey Dahmer craved McDonald's Big Macs was when I go, this needs to be taken seriously. This is not a rumor. This has validity to it. I don't care if there's even a chance in hell that McDonald's puts in their burgers what we all are thinking. I don't need McDonald's ever again for the rest of my life.
I've heard that hospitals have contracts with McDonald's. Is that true?
So here's a little prediction about your food based on what's going on in Idaho. Idaho farmers have been told that they are not allowed to irrigate their crops, which means all of those potatoes on hundreds of thousands of acres are not going to be getting across the finish line and making it into the food supply. Being the American people do not really understand how farming works anymore. Let me educate you. So a farmer, generally speaking, has to go take out an operation loan every year that a allows them to produce the crops that they are trying to produce. And these loans are based on collateral of the entire farm that's been handed down from generation to generation. So if you can't produce the crop based on the loan that you're getting, that means your farm is going to be foreclosed. They are going to come take the land.
Wow.
If there is no declaration of emergency or anything that is going to help these farmers, we're about to see a whole lot of Idaho go up in flames as far as loss of farms. When these farmers no longer have anything else to lose, they are going to turn into what we are seeing in Europe. And y'all should go look on Twitter or X, whatever it is.
French.
At farmer revolts. And you'll see what is happening in other countries due to regulations like this. Because if I'm about to lose everything I've got, I don't have anything to lose at all.
Yep.
So, with that said, it also has another effect on you, the American public, that does not really understand how farming works any longer, which is pretty sad. Everything, as a result of this kind of regulation, everything that you eat is about to get much more expensive. Especially your potatoes, being most of them are coming out of Idaho. So, with that said, pray for Idaho. Do what you can to help them. If you're seeing something that's bouncing up saying call somebody, call them and tell them to let them irrigate their crops. Otherwise, you're about to see the tipping point in American ag start to tip.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have got a real problem with the dollar no longer being utilized for oil. We have got avian influenza spreading across the country, and small farms and homesteads are being blamed for it. That's another issue that we've got, and it's starting to look like an attack on American agriculture as a whole. So, folks, start paying attention to what's going on around agriculture, especially with these regulations hitting other states, because it's bad for everybody.
The power of compound interest. If you had decided to get a shitty Android phone, which I realize is not appealing, right? Having an Android phone is sort of saying to the world, your life really hasn't panned out the way you'd hoped. But if you had taken all the money we spend on iPhones, I bought every iPhone. I buy every iPhone, automatic on the list. It cost, I think the first one was $1,500, last one was $2,400. Someone did an analysis and said, if you got in a free phone, you can get a free phone. If you got in a free phone and you take all the money you had invested in Apple phones and you bought Apple stock, you'd have $3 million right now. Wow. Because obviously Apple's gone insane, right? But what you don't realize as a young person is, how old are you, young man?
26.
Okay, when I was his age, I could not imagine the flaw. One of the flaws in our species is that because we haven't lived beyond 35 for 98% of our time on this planet, we can't calibrate time. So you're going to be around you're probably going to be around another 80 years, which means if you save $100 a month, or let's call it $300 a month, which is boring, right? Because you're expecting to be a baller and have them promote you and sell a podcast for a lot of money. But just in case you don't, if you manage to get $300 a month into SPY, low-cost index funds, and you didn't look at it for 50 years, not 50 years, 30 years, you're going to have millions of dollars. And hope this shit goes big, right? Hope you are a great DJ. Hope you sell the next big, great novel. But just in case, if you can figure out a way to automatically save $300 so you never see it a month at the age of 26, I can guarantee you by the time you're my age, I think I'm older than you, you'll be a millionaire. So just in case shit doesn't work out, and I didn't have that maturity. I remember telling my friend when I was 24, I was putting $2,000 in this super lame thing called an IRA Roth. I'm like, if $2,000 means anything to me when I'm older, shoot me. And he's made a fraction of the money I've made, but he's a multimillionaire because he was that lame guy putting away money every month. It is amazing. 11% a year which is what the S&P has done since 2008, sounds really uninspiring. 11% a year? It's nothing. Big deal. That means every 21 years, your investment's going up 8-fold. So, as I say in the book, the good news is I know how to get you rich. The bad news is the answer is slowly.
Just drop somebody off on a sidewalk and let him crawl away. You're clearly not concerned whatsoever about whether this person gets any services or not. The LA City Council president claims police departments from other cities are taking homeless people and leaving them in LA. Disregarded this person's safety, personal well-being, healthcare status entirely, and just washed their hands of him. The Burbank Police Department says they were just bringing the man back to where he came from. But the city council president told NBC News that isn't true. And this wasn't the first time neighboring cities have left homeless people in LA.
What's the repercussion for these fine officers? Drop a comment, please.
Russia has a friend that doesn't exist. If you look at the map of Europe, you won't find this country anywhere, but it is here, and it is called Transnistria. This country has its own money, military, flag, and issues its own passport. In 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed, the people of this ethnically Russian region of Transnistria decided that they didn't want to be part of Moldova, which was receiving stronger influence from Romania. A short but vicious civil war ended in 1992, with Transnistria breaking away from Moldova. Unable to join Russia, Transnistria remained a breakaway republic between Moldova and Ukraine. Its location is very important for Russia in the context of the war in Ukraine, as the plan for Russian troops was to connect Russia to Transnistria via the conquered land in the south of Ukraine. But it hasn't worked so far. Having troops in Transnistria, Russia can use this region to launch more attacks in Eastern Europe, especially in Moldova, which without NATO help would have no chance.
You can find it on the map and it's inside of Moldova. Alright folks, I'm going to end our video with these coming clips. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make better content. Thank you for staying till the end. There's a free gift below if you like. Thank you for watching. Have a prosperous day and God bless.
Basically, before a baby can walk, you need to teach it how to run. So just pick your baby up, grab by the hands, start running. Once you've taught your baby to run, they'll be ready to walk. Just place them down and come on, come on. And that's how you teach your baby to walk.